Welcome to the J.W. Parmley Historical Museum in Ipswich, South Dakota. We're going to walk through and just show you some of it. Come this way. The entryway, which is kind of a three-season porch, doors on each side. This house was built with bricks and cement because they were worried that of fire, because they had a couple other houses that burned down. Walking into the parlor and the living room, here's JW and Lizzie's wedding dress and suit. And there's their pictures of their mothers and fathers. It might be something somebody might be interested in. Walking into the living room, here's pictures of them. Picture of JW and Melissa Parmley and their son and daughter, son Lauren and daughter Irene. And then over here at the fireplace, the distinct thing about Parmley is the fireplaces. He put all the stones that from traveling around the world, him and his son would collect stones and put them into the fireplaces. So you see a big marble here, you see onyx, you see Indian tools, all kinds of different things in the fireplace. Walking into the dining room. In the dining room, there's a lot of their Parmley's own dishes. Like here's Parmley's dishes here. And then Trotslig is Irene's family, and there's stuff from their family also in here. But a lot of the furniture is from back in when the Parmleys lived here. Oh, this is an interesting photo that has a photo actually of their third child that actually passed away. She got fever and passed away. So we got the two children, but then at one time there was three. Into the kitchen area. Into the kitchen, just has old relics of kitchens past in here. Not necessarily stuff that was actually from Parmleys themselves. But there is in here dishes some more everyday dishes, they call them, that were part of the Parmley family. And here, this is just a washroom. And then this last room here is the bird room is what we call it. Mrs. Parmley liked birds, and she had live birds in here that she took care of. That was something that she liked to do. Our birds are not live anymore. Let's see. This is Parmley's office and den. It has another fireplace here. And then a bunch of, Parmley actually ran for Congress and was a member of the state legislature, so some of that information is here. Let's see, there's a picture here of Parmley sitting in front of this fireplace. And then some of the animals that he actually got during his hunting. Here's the bathroom. The bathroom was unique for those days because of this tub, the cement tub that they had put in here. That was something that was unique for that time period. And this last room downstairs is what we have as the military room. And this is mostly military uniforms or military stuff that came from people of Ipswich. So not necessarily Parmleys, but things that are tied to the town of Ipswich. Okay, walking into the sewing room. The one unique thing that's in the sewing room is this tapestry that was Lauren had given to his mom when he was actually out on for his army, and he sent this from Hawaii back to his mother. Here's one room that we have set up for kids. It's just a bedroom, small bedroom, but we have a lot of old toys and dolls and stuff in this room. And this room here has some of the old dresses from the time period. Here's one from 1880, summer dress that was worn by Mrs. J.W. Parmley. The Ipswich Museum used to be in the basement of the library. The library deteriorated in the basement, so all those materials that are in this room were moved from that. So these were this was the old museum items that are now housed in the Parmley house. This room here is the fun room for people that like to dig, because there's many old pictures in here that are related to Parmley, related to Ipswich. All the drawers are full of pictures. Bunch of Indian, a lot of stuff in here because it came from the museum is related to old Native American items. One thing unique in this room, this is just a closet, but we have more clothes in here, but the 1920 flapper dress that Irene Parmley, the daughter, wore for an event. It's like it's made out of tissue paper. So, kind of neat. I think that's about it. Oh, did we go in this room? No, we didn't go in here. One more room. This is just another bedroom that we've kind of set up in the old time for how bedrooms were, and then a bunch of just old antique items that are just in display in here. And I think that's about it. Thank you very much. Is there a date on the front? I think there is of the building. It's on the side. Over here on the side. No, right there, 1900. On top. Door. I don't know. Take pictures. I will get it. So this is out of the Mina, South Dakota Post Office that used to be in Mina before 1898, which applies for we're at the Mina Post Office. So in here, there's a lot of more materials that were in the museum were placed in the land office. But here's one of the out of the bank, one of the timekeepers and the clocks out of the original Ipswich banks. This talks about the Ipswich robbery. That somebody tried to rob the bank back in the day. Has information on that. Here's the sign that was in the back of the Parmley's vehicle when he drove the race of the Yellowstone Trail. That's the actual sign. And over here is one of the maps that shows all the locations on the Yellowstone Trail. And there's two of them together. Parmley was involved in a lot of stuff with state government, and he was a commissioner here that was part of putting the bridge across the Missouri River at Pier and Fort Pier, and his name is on there, on that commemorative plaque. And back here we just have set up for kind of like an old schoolhouse. That's what this part is kind of for. But there is also a fireplace like in the houses that has more of the rocks in it that he collected from wherever his collection was. And then up here it actually has one of his GW for Congress signs. A couple of Parmley's pictures. Back here we kind of have an old storefront, like the general store. You come in and get your vegetables, your cooking supplies, whatever you needed. And then back here we have kind of a medical area. So one of the big doctors in town was Dr. Blumendahl, and a lot of these materials are from Dr. Blumendahl's office that he used to have in Ipswich on Main Street. And that's about it in the abstract office. So it's more of a setup for different areas of history. We are planning on setting one up we have one of the barber chairs from the barber shop, one of the old barber shops, and we're planning on bringing that in here next year and setting that up in an area inside here. Thank you.